We have started with the chapter number 1, the living world. In this chapter, in the previous session, we have discussed regarding the different kind of taxonomical categories like species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom, etc. These are the different taxonomical category we have discussed, and this is kind of a taxonomical hierarchy. Now in this today's session, we have to learn regarding the taxonomical aid. So students, we will discuss regarding this taxonomical aid. Okay, so we discuss this taxonomical aid. Taxonomical aid that help us to learn to identify the different kind of the biodiversity that exists in the world. This aid, these are the aid. Aid means a help. They help us to identify the different kind of a biodiversity in the world. So what is their role? The role of this taxonomical aid, it is helpful aid. It is helpful aid. Forestry, to identify the different kinds of living organisms which are living in the forest. They are also useful in the industries, various kind of industries. This biodiversity where they are going to be used. They are also useful in the agriculture. They are also useful in the agriculture, and they are also useful to identify the bioresources of our world. Clear? So what is the taxonomical aid? The taxonomical aid, they are helpful in the forestry, industry, agriculture, and they also have to identify or to gain a knowledge. They are also helpful in gaining a knowledge regarding the bioresources which are present surrounding to us or they are present in the world. So they are helpful. You know that we are in this biology, we are learning the different kind of a biology. That means we are learning the different kind of a living organisms. And you know that it is very difficult when you are talking about in the book and in the practical field. Suppose if I am showing that this is a cockroach, okay, if I am showing you just in a book and if I am showing you practically this is a cockroach, a lot of difference exists. Okay, so that's why this aid they helpful in the study purpose, to identification purpose or the learning purpose they are useful. Okay, we have lots of different kind of taxonomical aids are there. The one of the first is, it's called as a herbarium. This is the first taxonomical aid which we are using. The second taxonomical aid they are using, it's a, you can say a biological gardens, or more specifically I am saying a botanical gardens. Clear? The third one, it's called as a museum. Okay? The fourth one is zoo, or you can also call it as zoological park. This is the fourth kind of taxonomical aid. The fifth kind of taxonomical aid is a key. So these are the list of different taxonomical aid. I again repeat, which are they? Herbarium, botanical gardens, museum, zoo, key, etc. We have to learn regarding each and every component or each and every type of a taxonomical aid they are available. Okay, we will discuss at least this part. So let's discuss this 5 taxonomical aid. First of all, I am starting with a herbarium. Okay, I am starting with the first kind of a taxonomical aid. It is a herbarium. What is a herbarium? The herbarium is a storehouse of plants. Okay, what is an herbarium? The herbarium is a storehouse of plants where we are keeping the repository of the plants. Okay, and this herbarium that is prepared on the sheet. Suppose this is a one paper, that what we are calling as herbarium sheet. It is a simple paper as like a drawing paper. Okay, on which we are preparing this herbarium sheet. This is called as a herbarium sheet. Now what you have to do, how you can do a store or make a repository of the plants. Okay, here first of all you have to collect a plant for which you want to make its herbarium. Okay, then what you have to do? You have to dry it. Okay, the second step, after that you have to press it, and the next step, that is you have to preserve it. Okay, these are the main important three steps after the collection of the plants for which you want to prepare a herbarium sheet. Okay, what you have to do? You have to first collect it. After the collection, you have to dry it. After the drying, you have to press it. After the pressing, you have to preserve it. Okay, and once you dry it, press it, then what you have to do? You have to keep it on this herbarium sheet. Suppose this is a plant for which I have prepared this herbarium sheet. Okay, and then I have to preserve it. Okay, this sheet contains a different kind of a labels. This sheet contains what kind of the labels that it contains? It contains the date of collection, where it is going to be collected. It should also mention the time of collection, when it is collected. So it should mention the date and the time of collection. It should also mention their names. Names should be in all the languages, like local language, what it is called in a local language, what it is called in an English language, what it is called, what is its name in a scientific way or botanical name. Okay, that you have to mention it. You also can mention the family, etc. These are the information that usually we are writing in the lower right corner. This is the corner where we are writing the different informations. This kind of information we are writing. And once we prepare the herbarium sheet, this is a one herbarium sheet for one plant. We arrange it according to a university system of classification. There are different systems. We can arrange it according to A, B, C, D, or you can also arrange it like the plants which are collected from America, the plants which are collected from Africa, the plants which are collected from Asia, etc. Such kind of, whatever the kind of classification system, okay, depends on classification system, they are going to be kept, okay. And thus we have a whole repository or the storehouse of a plant. Okay, thus we can prepare the storehouse of a plant. The whole storehouse, we are calling it as herbarium. What we are calling it as? Herbarium. I am again repeating it. What is a herbarium? Herbarium is a storehouse of a plants, where we are storing the plants. So we are collecting the plants from different parts of the world. Then what we will do? We dry it, we press it, we preserve it on this herbarium sheet. This herbarium sheet, when we are preserving it, the herbarium sheet should mention the date of collection, time of collection, the name, all kind of a name, at least English name, local name, and the botanical name or the scientific name has to be maintained. What is the family of this plant? So thus we can prepare the herbarium sheet for one plant, and this we can prepare the lots of number of herbarium sheets. We are classifying it or we are arranging it according to a university system of classification. And such kind of a sheet, they are helpful for the students to learn it. What kind of plant it is. Even you can also collect, someone has gone to Africa, they can collect a plant from the Africa and make a herbarium sheet for it. It can be preserved for a number of years. It can be preserved for a number of years. Okay, and the students can learn that XYZ plant looks like this. Okay, and thus it will help in the identification purpose. Thus it will help into learning purpose. So this is one of the taxonomical aim. This is called as herbarium. Okay, some people are also writing, in addition to this information, some people are also writing some people are also writing that when it is collected, that means during which season it is collected. Okay, whether they have a flowering season, fruiting season, what kind of plant it has been collected, or it's a young or the older one plant or middle age plant, whatever that, they are also mentioning over here. So this is the first kind of taxonomical aid, what we are calling as herbarium. Next, the second kind of taxonomical aid is botanical garden. So let's discuss the second one, botanical gardens. See, the second one is, as I have told you, the second kind of taxonomical aid is botanical garden. These botanical gardens, what it is? They are the garden what we are preparing. Okay, they are the gardens which have a different types of plants. These plants are selected from the different environment or different locality or different habitat. We are collecting the plants from them and we are growing them the ground or the place or the garden which is nearer to the our host institute. This is called as a botanical garden. Okay, so here the garden that is prepared, but the difference is that in this garden we have collected plants from the different localities and we are providing the environment what the plant need. Suppose we have collected a plant from the Himalaya, so the plant which we have collected in the Himalaya that might need some kind of a cold environment. So we are providing such type of a cold environment over there. If the plant that is collected from the desert region that can remain in the very hot conditions with a less availability of water, so we provide such kind of a conditions. Or we can also generate like cactus house. We can prepare the glass house, cactus house, greenhouse, such kind of a parts of a garden that have been developed and they are used to generate the botanical gardens. The advantage of this botanical garden is such that over a herbarium. In herbarium we are also collecting a plant. In the botanical gardens we are also collecting a plant. But in the herbarium they are preserved as such. We are not able to see it in a growing position. But in the botanical gardens we are providing artificial conditions, okay, which is helpful or which is beneficial for the growth of a plant, and so that's why the plant can grow fully and we can see the plant which is growing. Okay, even we can collect the 2 leaves from it and we can do a research on it, because again the plant will grow and it will generate its leaves, flower, fruit and many things will be generated. So if you want to do a research or if you go for an identification purpose, then this type of a garden they are prepared, what we call it as botanical gardens. Okay, in the botanical gardens when the plant have been grown, for its identification purpose at least these 2 things you have to write. Okay, you have to label it. First, its name. As usual, you have to write the 3 names. That is a local name, from where it is collected, you should know the local name, what it is called. There is an English name. What is its English name? Because the English is the universal language worldwide. And last is scientific name, or you can say a botanical name. Okay, that should be written. So all these 3, not only, all these 3 names should be written. And along with that, the family of the plant also should be written. Family. These two things should be labeled to a plant in a botanical garden. Okay, this is a must thing. I will tell you the few famous botanical gardens. They are present in the world. One of the best botanical garden that is available in the world is a botanical garden which is present at Kew. Kew is one of the city, Kew, Kew, in the England. Okay, so where the botanical garden is famous, that is very rich in biodiversity. One of the famous botanical garden that present in the India is, okay, that is Indian Botanical Garden. It is an Indian Botanical Garden. It is very famous. Okay, Indian Botanical Garden. This is the famous botanical garden of India that is present in Howrah, Kolkata. This is the place where it is present. It is present in Howrah, Kolkata. Okay, one more botanical garden which is present in India and that is famous. That is National Botanical Research Institute. National Botanical Research Institute that is present at the Lucknow. This is the one more botanical garden which is famous one. So at least you have to remember this. At least you have to remember the name of this botanical garden because they are very famous botanical garden. First, botanical garden that is present at the Kew, England. Second, Indian Botanical Garden that is present at the Howrah, Kolkata. The third one is National Botanical Research Institute. It's present in the Kolkata. If you talk about the Gujarat, in the Gujarat also there are two famous botanical gardens are present. One is the botanical garden that is present at Vagai, Saputara. And the second one is the botanical garden that is present in the MS University, Baroda. They are again famous. So this is a botanical garden. At least you should visit the botanical garden that is present in the Vagai, which will give you an idea regarding what is a botanical garden. Okay, clear? Here the student can study or learn the plant in a live manner. Okay, because they are attached with a host institute. So this is called as a botanical garden. So here we have discussed the two taxonomical aid, herbarium and the botanical garden. Now we are moving ahead with the third taxonomical aid, and it is a museum. So let's discuss the third one. It's a museum. So let's discuss the third kind of a taxonomical aid. It is a museum. Museum, you might have seen or you might have visited many museums. In a museum, there are lots of different specimens they are going to be kept. But similarly here, it's a museum of living organisms, where the living organisms and their remnants are going to be kept. So this is called as a museum. And in this museum, the biological or biodiversity, biological animals, okay, they are going to be preserved for identification purpose, okay, or they are going to be used for a study purpose. Generally these museums, they are going to be attached with you can say schools, colleges or the host institutes. With that, this kind of museums are present. Okay, clear? So these are museums. In this museum, the living organisms, they are going to be kept in a different way. So I am showing you what are the different ways by which they are kept in a museum. See here, it's a collection of different parts or the whole animal. So how they are going to be kept? Here in museum, like the living organisms or the organisms, I say just organisms, okay, because many of them are the dead one. Okay, that organisms, they are kept in a container box or jar with preservatives. Preservative, they are helpful in the preservation of that stuff, that is an organism. Okay, so they are kept into a container or jar with a preservative. This is one of the way. Sometimes these organisms, they are also preserved in a dry condition. So here they are preserved in a dry conditions and they are kept into boxes here like this. Next, even the insect, in case of an insect, the insects are collected or they are kept into insect boxes. There are specific boxes are present where you can keep the insect. So they are called as insect boxes. And the insect, how they are kept? First, there is a collection. The insects are collected. There are 3 steps in keeping the insect in the museum. There is a collection. Then afterwards, they are going to be killed. And the last one is they are pinned. So collection, killing and the pinning, they are the 3 important steps. Okay, that you have to remember. Collection, killing and the pinning. Similarly, in case of an herbarium, that is drying, pressing and the preserving, they are the important sequential step. Remember, they are sequential step. Means one after one, you cannot change the sequence. Same here, first collection, killing and the pinning. They are the important steps to preserve this insect or keep the insect in a museum in the insect boxes. Sometimes the large animals, how the large animals are kept? These large animals, they are going to be kept, they are going to be kept by stuffing. They stuffed and then preserved. They stuffed with an inner material like cotton and so on. They stuffed with the inner material so the organism doesn't get damaged and they get preserved. So they are stuffed and preserved. Like suppose a bird, there is a kind of an extinct bird if you found. and there is no bird and you find it's a dead body or the mortals, then from that the different organs have been removed. We are just filling it with some inert material, what we are calling as stuffing, and then we are preserving. So thus the large animals are going to be preserved. So these are the different ways for preservations and keeping the living organism or the organisms into a museum. How we are keeping? First, organisms, they are kept in a container, box or the jar with the preservatives. You might have seen some institute, there are boxes are there, or there is jar. Glass jar is present. In the glass jar, the specimen have been kept. Clear? Or there is a dry preservation. They are dried and they are preserved. Third one is insects are preserved into insect boxes by following the process called as collection, killing and the pinning. Next, the large animals like birds, they are stuffed with inert material and then they are going to be preserved. Even we are also keeping the bonds of animals, they are preserved. And they are kept into a museum for study purpose or for identification purpose. So this is called as a museum. Okay, where the specimens are going to be kept. Okay, so this is called as a museum. A third kind of a taxonomical aid. Now we are moving ahead. That is a fourth. It's called as a zoo. Okay, or we are calling it as zoological park, or you can also call it as zoological garden. Okay, so let's start with the fourth taxonomical aid. It is zoo, or you can say a zoological park, or you can also call it as zoological garden. See here, it's a zoo. You might have visited a zoo, okay, and what the zoo has lots of different types of animals. But here, the animals are kept in a protected environment. Remember, it's not like a forest, open environment, a threatful environment. Here in a zoo, they are kept under a protected environment, and here they are taken care by the human volunteers or the experts. Okay, the veterinary doctors, the trainers, they are also looking care of it. Okay, their feeders, okay, they are looking care of them. Okay, this is called as zoo or zoological gardens. Okay, you know that children love the zoo very much. Lots of diversity of living organisms that exist, or the animals that exist in the living zoo, and we are enjoying it. Here they kept in a protected environment, and this is also one of the way to study it. Like to see the white elephant, we cannot go to somewhere. Okay, clear? So if it is kept in a zoo, it's very easy for us to identify and to study it. Okay, so that is the fourth taxonomical aid. Now the fifth taxonomical aid, it is a key. What is a key? The key is the sentences. Okay, and the key is sentences which is prepared by checking the similarities and the dissimilarities. So the key is based on, it is based on similarities and dissimilarities. These are the two ways. They are based on the similarities and the dissimilarities. They are based. Here the sentences are framed. Here the sentences are framed which have two contrasting characters. So here the key, a key is framed, sentence that means a key. The key is framed based on contrasting characters, means which have an opposite labeling. Okay, they are the contrasting characters. Okay, and that there is a contrasting character, that is means the answer of one is yes and that is the another answer is no. So there are the two sentences which are going to be framed in the key. Okay, so there are the two sentences which is going to be framed. So we are also calling it as couplet. It can also be called as couplet. Okay, so that is based on the similarities and dissimilarities, and that is based on the contrasting characters you can find into the living organisms. And these two contrasting characteristics we are calling it as a couplets. Okay, and thus we identify the living organism. You can frame a key for every level, every taxonomical category. Like every taxonomical category has its own key. Like every taxonomical category has its own key. Means for family there is a key, for a genre there is a key, there is a for a class or order there is a key. Thus you can frame. So this is called as a key. And these keys are analytical in nature. They are analytical. Remember, which one is analytical in nature? Is analytical in nature. Okay, in which you can think on through your mind and give answers, and thus you identify the living organism. So that is the fifth taxonomical aid, that is key. So these are the taxonomical aid: herbarium, botanical garden, museum, zoo, and the key. They are the important taxonomical aid. Okay, so that's all about the taxonomical aid. Here we are ending with a chapter number 1, the living world. In this chapter we have learned a few concepts. I just summarize what we have learned in this chapter. What is a living? What are the important characteristics of living organisms, like growth, metabolism, response to an environment, okay, or they can sense the environment and response towards the environment, reproduction, consciousness, even the death is also one of the characteristics of a living organism. We have discussed each and every characteristic in detail. Even we have also learned regarding the what is a biological name, what is a biodiversity that exists, and what are the rules for giving a name, or we have learned the rules of binomial nomenclature system. Along with that, we have also learned the taxonomical categories. You should know the definition of each and every part. Okay, and you should also know the examples, because you have been asked to describe any of the taxonomical category in 2-3 marks, like describe family with examples. So you have to describe it, or describe the species with an example. So you have to describe it, 2 to 3 mark question. So define, explain, give examples. And these are the taxonomical aid. Okay, any of the taxonomical aid can be asked. So this is a very short and sweet chapter, first chapter, that you have to remember it. Students, learn it thoroughly. Okay, keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.